to the Wager Makers Podcast with Webb and Schmidt.
Brick by brick, baby. I'm freaking out, Webb.
I was told there'd be no man. Stupidity's going to be an asset. What a bunch of crybabies.
Hello, my name is Steve Smith, and this is Rob Weber. Say hey, Webb.
Hello. What's up, Smith?
What's up, Webb? I'm Smith. That's Webb. We are the Major Makers. Thank you all for joining us. It's been a whole lot of episodes. We got 134 now. This is we're a couple days late, but we got baseball playoffs starting today. The NFL is in full swing.
Starting in the 10 minutes, man.
10 minutes.
15 minutes.
So we're going to get this out there. I don't know if we'll get it out there in time for today's matchups, but we'll see what we can do. NBA preseason is tipping off. The regular season will be tipping off. NHL, I think, starts in the next day or two.
Today.
Not tonight.
Like they're in Norway. I think there's a game today and tomorrow, and then the 11th.
Cool. So it's lots going on. Big things. Baseball this week. Webb. The playoffs are decided. Big stories this week. Aaron Judge obviously hits the 62 home runs, which is a Yankee and American League record. A lot of big discussion about where this should be placed in the history of baseball and things like that. Webb, what are your thoughts on this situation?
He broke a record. I mean, the dude's going to make $400 million, but he broke that American League record in a Yank, but he didn't break the record. I mean, but Barry Bonds, this is America, guilty and proven until proven innocent. So I'm sorry if you're going to whine and cry about it. Yeah. But it is what it is. This
was to me. Look, I'm a Yankee fan. I'm rooting for Judge, whatever. I'm rooting for the Yankees team. I've been critical of Judge going into the season. Obviously, now he's going to get paid.
So was I.
Boatloads of money. So I don't know why you have to play all season on your contract. What year has Aaron Judge played the entire year, other than now that his contract year is coming up? That should drive me fucking crazy.
He's not the first one to have that, shit go down.
So we talked about his contract. He turned down a lot of money from the Yankees going into the season, and kudos to him. He backed it up, but now what? Now for the Yankees, do you pay him this? It's going to be like $300 million, 300. Like I don't know what the crazy numbers are, but it's going to be unbelievable. To me, this is a little bit of a generation of the New York media. I couldn't sit down and watch a college football game in the last 2 weeks without it breaking in and showing me the at bat to see who's going to not be the all-time Major League Baseball home run champion. Right. Look, to be the number one home run hitter in Yankee history or in American League history, amazing feat and crazy numbers this year. Almost won the Triple Crown, which is unfucking believable. Great batting average and home runs and RBIs, obviously. But just to me, the media hype and the people going crazy about it got a little crazy. Even there was one press conference and it's Roger Maris's son saying how he should be recognized as the number one guy, because Bonds did it and was performance enhanced and all this. Listen, if you're the son of Roger Maris, just shut up. Just nobody cares. Nobody cares.
And what is he gonna say? Like, what? Like, come on. He's gonna say something that's gonna. Obviously, he wants his name on a Sports Center or whatever on the ESPN app headline. Of course, he's gonna say he shouldn't have done it. What's he gonna say?
Right. So,
what is Roger Maris' son doing now? Like, anyway, is he just like selling insurance? I mean, how old is he even? Come on.
Well, that's why I saw him in a press conference. At first, I thought it was Judge's dad, and so I made a mistake. I made a mistake. I was like, why are they asking? Of course, Judge's dad says this shit, but it turned out it was Roger Maris Jr. It turned out it was Roger Maris Jr., so I felt like a little stupid on that. But Webb, the media. I'm a Yankee fan. I'm about wins, Webb. I'm about wins.
No doubt.
None of this fucking matters. Go out and win the fucking World Series. And now the problem is now nobody's going to pitch to you. Number one. So the Yankees, either you're a good team or you're not, because none of this.
And they're not.
This isn't going to be regular season. You're going to need Garrett Cole. Fucking show me something. Fucking the other guys on the team offensively. Show me something. Do something. The closers. Show me something. Chapman, are you back? Are you? What do you? I don't even know. Are you the closer anymore? Are you set up man? I don't know what's going on with.
Still hurting from that tattoo? Is he even back? Did he even pitch at all? The Yankees are not a good team. Now, I mean, listen, that's silly to say, but they're not the favorite. I mean, I wouldn't.
No. They're not even the number one. I think Astros ended with the number one American League. And then you got teams out there with just crazy pitching. The Mets and some other teams. The Mets have trouble
that's
scoring runs, but
that's the difference between the Mets and the Yankees. If you pitch around Aaron Judge, you got a real good, a good chance to win. The Yanks have no pitching. Garrett Cole's a bitch. I don't care what anyone says. Judge is a baller, great season. They got some guys that have had, at times did some stuff. This guy like the dude at first base, Rizzo, I thought he was going to be a player there, but he didn't really do much. But those are the difference. When they face the Astros, they're not going to be a favorite.
Yep. Braves absolutely playing great ball down a stretch.
100%.
Lots of teams got a shot in here. But one of the things, they're talking about, Aaron Judge is a slam dunk for the MVP, or American League MVP. But I want to bring up something about my man Ohtani. Unfucking believable. Unbelievable. He's the first guy, Webb, since 1890 to finish the season in the top 5 in both home runs and strikeouts pitched, which is just unfucking unbelievable.
Well, there's no one's doing that. It's never going to happen.
He's the 4th player all time to do that. We're talking about the Babe Ruths of the world, probably. I don't even know what 34 home runs and 219 strikeouts. Unbelievable.
No one in our lives, right?
No.
I mean,
no, not even our father lives. I don't think.
Right.
So,
I mean, there's some shabby teams. The Phillies ain't no good, man, and they're in. The Cardinals. I guess the Cardinals won that division, right? They're not very good either. So I'm not impressed by a couple of these. I'm not impressed by the Mets. If it wasn't for those 2 pitchers, fuck them too. They ain't scoring no runs.
Yep. So
it's the Astros and the Dodgers.
All right. So Webb, that's probably about. I mean, who do you like out of the teams going to the playoffs? Who in the Major League Baseball do you think really is the tops? Who do you like to win the World Series?
The Astros, I guess, or the Dodgers. I mean, that's way to go out on a limb. I know, but you know what I'm saying. But they're the leaders in the clubhouse, no doubt. I'm trying to find there's brackets, right? So hold on. So the Phillies and the Cardinals play on one side, and the winner of that plays the Braves, right? Out of that, I like the Braves. Just the Braves are hot. They have what's his name? Fried could pitch. Their lineup is stacked. I just don't see the Cardinals have no pitching or hitting, and the Phillies have no pitching or hitting. So that's just I get them by default. And the Mets play the Padres, and the winner plays the Dodgers. Dodgers can always step on their dick, so I think the Mets have a shot just based on the Scherzer and DeGrom. And Diaz, the closer, he's ridiculous too. So that maybe I took the Mets in the series. I'm going to go with the Phillies in the series just based on the odds. Just it's like even or plus 105. And the Mets and Dodgers, I'll take a look. See where it's at. Maybe just worth a flyer on that. And then the other side, who plays? The Yankees are the 2. Who they playing?
Well, the Guardians are one of the teams on that side. I'm not sure.
So Guardians and
Guardians depend on who comes out, right?
It does? I thought it was set.
Because it just says to be determined, and when I look at the schedule for MLB,
but I saw it. I think it's bracketed already, and I think that's how I saw it and read it. But maybe I'm wrong. It was the Mariners playing the Guardians, and then the winner of that plays the Yankees. Out of that, that's a coin toss for those 3 teams.
Guardians have been playing real good second half of baseball.
Castillo's a ball. They got some pitching, man.
Yep.
And then the bottom is the Astros, and who's the other team in the American League?
They got the Blue Jays.
Blue Jays and the Rays. So whoever wins that, again, I don't know who's going to win that either, but it doesn't matter because they ain't losing to the Astros.
Right.
I mean, I would have the Astros winning that too. So
again, as a Yankee fan, show me something. Now you want to make your money? And it's where I say, hey, pay this guy. Do it. Do it now. Don't come out. And it's kind of weird, man. You don't have 3 or 4 days off during an entire 162 game season. And now if you're one of these teams with the bye week, I know it's great to get your pitching set up and your rotation set up and all that kind of stuff. But I don't know. I'd like to see 2 days off instead. I think they're going to not play again until Tuesday, and they haven't played since Wednesday. It's a whole week off. I'm sure it's great to get your body right. But sometimes these teams that win this little wild card thing, they roll right into that second series, then they kind of, to me, they have a little bit of an advantage just that they're rolling into that point.
The momentum is huge, especially for like a scrapper team type thing or something like someone, maybe like the Mariners we just talked about. And Judge didn't play yesterday. He hasn't played since he hit the home run, so he's going to be off for X amount of days. And
a full week.
Right. I'm a believer in that. That bye week is not always the best thing. It's baseball. Home field advantage is not as important as it is in football or basketball. So college basketball, particularly.
Obviously, getting the pitching lineup the way you want it is a big deal. But you can be cold for a couple days, and any team can be cold for a couple days in baseball hitting, and you're that much more tight when it's a playoff situation if it doesn't go right for you early. And so these teams like the Mariners, it seems like every night I'm watching SportsCenter down the stretch, they're winning some big game and a ninth inning coming up and going crazy because they know every game mattered down the stretch. They're coming in hot into this. And
you mentioned the Braves. I don't know if you look at their numbers here down the stretch, they were on fire. I mean, they overtook the Mets and won the division. This would hurt them. I'm sure they would love to play today.
Right.
Just keep it rolling. Just keep on playing right through.
All right. Well, that's enough of baseball for today. Webb, did you see this game last night? First of all, we had the Colts, believe it or not. It's verified. We're a day or two late on this podcast today, but on Sports Watch Monitor, we did take the Colts plus the points. Somehow they pulled it out. Tough game to watch. Tough game. Even Al Michaels in the booth last night seemed
everybody.
And the memes and Facebook, social media going crazy about the games last night. A win's a win from my standpoint. Especially, look, this is what gambling's for. I thought it was a great game. Loved it. Loved every minute of it. I got to see Matt Ryan get knocked around a little, my Atlanta Falcons nemesis, and I have no problem with that. And we got the W.
I mean, first of all, if you look at it was brutal. It was basically unwatchable. Like, thank God for gambling. That's why it's just legal. That's why So, like you said, it was a beautiful thing. But is there anybody good on the Colts? Like, their quarterback sucks. They have no receivers. Their running back was hurt. The best player on the offense is the left guard from Jersey, Quentin Nelson. And then you got on the defense, they're supposed to have some good guys. What's the dude who's changed his name? Did Leonard play? His name used to be Darius, I think, and now it's Shaquille or something. I don't know. Anyway, there's no one good on that team. Okay? So they suck. And then that just shows you how bad the Broncos are. Like, Herbstreit was trying to, make excuses for Wilson. Like, it takes time with the offensive line. Just shut the fuck up. There's no time when you make $250 million. You got to walk in and win fucking football games. Or else you don't get it then. You don't get it. That's a lot of bullshit to me. They look bad, too. They got Jerry Jeudy. They got the other receiver.
Cortland Sutton.
I looked at it because I was looking at how bad it was. They got this dude, Tim Patrick's a pretty good receiver. And that other dude. Even
Melvin Gordon is a solid runner. He's been a solid running back. And he's their backup. They had the other guy that just went down.
And they had to do it. Hamlin's a good receiver as well. Defense, they got Surtain and they
got tons of Chubb. They got tons of guys. They played great D. They played great D. They gave this another game. This is the second time they gave the game away. They had the ball down at the 10-yard line with just 2 minutes remaining, and I think the Colts had used up their timeouts. And they said they're going for the jug. All they had to do was run the ball. If you get it in, you get it in. If you don't, you kick a field goal. You go up by 6. What has the Colts done all game long that makes you think they're going to drive by that point, there would have been a minute left.
Right.
What makes you think they're going to drive the length of the field in a minute and score a touchdown on you?
No way. There's no.
You put the ball in the air.
Pass interference, like on an 80-yard pass to put you at the 10 or whatever it is.
Look, I hate Richard Sherman as much as the next guy, but he was on there saying, "Man, I got fucking withdrawals, or I've been triggered from this play at the goal line where Russell Wilson throws the interception," and he's got a point. It was like watching that game, however many years ago, but at least they were behind when he threw the interception in the Super Bowl. But terrible.
What did he do? Nothing. Like, he had the one play we rolled out to the left and ran. Like, that was the best play of the game.
18, 20 yards. They hit late he did hit Jeudy for a big play, I think in overtime.
That was.
But then they go for it. They go for it on 4th down and they throw again in overtime. I don't know if you saw it. We stayed up.
I did. But that's Oh, that shit put me to sleep. But I wonder if that's an overreaction from the coach because he didn't go for it. Now he's just going to go for it every fucking time.
Right. I mean, I don't know. And then if you go for it, they were kind of running the ball pretty well. Just try. I don't know. I don't know. It's easy to second guess. But again, some. First of all, Russell Wilson's playing terrible.
Awful.
Can't understand it. And second of all,
He wasn't that
the
good,
decisions the decisions they're making are that the time control decisions and the play calling decisions at the end of regulation I had more of a problem with than any other thing. There was 2 minutes left. I think the Colts had used all their timeouts, and all they had to do was kick a field goal and be up by 6 if they didn't get the first down at all. But instead they throw. Terrible.
And the time management is almost an epidemic. How do you get a head coaching like in an interview? Give them a fucking scenario, like like just the same scenario. Next time, whoever they fired Elway, he's a figurehead now. Whoever the GM is, just hold this film for when you fire this fucking guy because he ain't gonna be there long, and say what would you do in this scenario? How come you and I sitting on the couch? Literally, I'm laying in bed like, what this fucking this dude is just a dumb motherfucker. Like, and the time management is 101, and this dude's an offensive coordinator. That's why he got the job.
Yep.
I
don't get it. They even pulled another coach in from the former assistant head coach from the Ravens. He's sitting up in the booth, and they kind of show him, and he's kind of like this kind of deal like going on. Like what? I don't know what they're doing down there.
Right.
So anyway. Webb, NBA starting. Webb, big talk. The Pelican. I don't know if the New Orleans. Okay, we're 15 minutes in. We're gonna go local.
That's
I don't know if the Pelicans faithful have ever been as excited as they are about a basketball season as they are about this one coming up.
Why? Because Zion's dominating the preseason. Like he's a number one pick. They couldn't He should outplay a couple of dudes in early October. If he's not playing, that's the story.
Right. Exactly. So I think there was a stat came out this week. He hasn't played in over 500 days in a regular game. And last year we saw him making the dunks in practice and all this stuff. But the Pelicans made a good run in the playoffs last year. Pretty solid late season, and lower of the top 8 run into the playoffs and whatnot. Gave the Suns a little run for their money. But now I think with Zion back in this core group, they're saying they're playing outstanding. But we hear that all the time in the local media. We'll see how it plays out. But again, Zion, just play. Let's play. Let's ball. Run it back. Run it the first time.
I mean, 500 days. That's a long time. That's a prison sentence right there. So I mean, they're a good team. They're easy to root for. I mean, I hate Zion Williamson, obviously, but I do. They're scrappy. That's the kind of team they like. They kind of put it together. They got way too many guys from Duke on the team for me, though. But, yeah, I mean, the NBA's here. That's good. It gives us something else to gamble on. But I don't know how many NBA games I could watch. It gets hard. Like, there's just nothing going on with that. Yep. There's no defense. I like the days. I like the old days.
Yep. Every night you got to show up.
Right. Well,
obviously, there's teams. It's obvious they don't show up. Like you can see in the scores. Sometimes you're like, well, the team I bet on tonight just didn't.
Right.
They were at the club last night. I don't know what happened. Late flight, early morning, something. They're not there today. They're down by 15 at the end of their first quarter, and just kind of stays that way for the rest of the game.
Let's mail it in. Yeah.
So, but Webb, one good. Like you mentioned this week, it's going to be maybe easy for me to. I already like the Sixers as a Eastern team to root for. I like Embiid. Dude is a monster. Yes. Always when he's healthy, man, he's just unbelievable to watch. So dominant in the middle, but also can do stuff from the outside. Webb, you told me this week he got his U.S. citizenship or something like that.
Yeah, he did. Yeah, he got he would do it for his family or whatever. But now to see what's going on now, like I guess he's technically or was French, I guess, even though he's wherever he's from. So now the French are trying to lobby him to play for France in the Olympics or whatever. I guess the Olympics will come. Who knows when the Olympics are? And I think he's just telling him, "Fuck off! I just be an American citizen." So that's just another reason to
And I thought you told me like he kind of said some really cool words about how important it was for him to be American and be a U.S. citizen and all that kind of stuff. Just hey, look, we're true old red, white, and blues over here on this Wager Makers podcast. We like to hear stories like that.
Yeah, good for him. I mean, I've never been a Philly fan in any way, shape, or form of any team.
True.
For a lot of reasons, but yeah, he's good to root for. I'm not a big James Harden fan either, and I do think Doc Rivers loses in the playoffs all the time. So I don't think there's no one in the East really though. Bucks. I'm rooting for the Bucks.
Cool. Yeah, the Greek Freak is a bad man.
Let's talk about the Boston Celtics. Like, how could this dude? I guess he was banging one of the girls that worked for the team or something.
But what is it? I don't understand. It's consensual, right? It was consensual, right?
Yeah. But I think initially, this is what's yes. Once it got to that level, yeah. But I think he was like somehow sexually harassing her before that or something, like verbally abusive. Like he never touched her or anything, but somehow he did something prior to that for a while. And I guess maybe she was into that shit because eventually it became this crazy long consensual affair. So you got to lose.
Okay, I didn't know the timeline. I did see that, like, other than the affair with the employee, there was behavior by him that was, things that were said. I didn't know it was even to her, but things that were said that were again out of the rule book or something, that were against the rules. Right. I don't really understand. I'm glad I'm not a young man in today's day and age, Webb. I don't know how you're supposed to ask a person out. I don't know what the situation is. Are they mad at him because he was engaged and it was an extramarital? Not even extramarital. I don't understand if it was consensual, but I don't know the whole story. I don't know. Maybe he said things in the office that were not allowed. That's the deal. But
right. And listen, that's you're going to say something to offend a woman. Obviously, we're not agreeing with that, but having an extramarital affair, it's not a moral. There's no moral police, and so. But again, this goes back to my thing. What are these front office fucking people doing? You didn't know this dude was banging some chick in the office? Are you kidding me? And if you didn't care then, why do you care now?
Right.
Whatever.
The dude has had success. So why?
Dude, it
would be an easy way. It would be easy way out if you didn't care then, and now you're like, this is our way to get out from under this fucking guy.
They're the number one. They're the favorite. If you go looking on the website, they're the number one in the East. Right. So anyway.
All right. So Webb, we talked about last week. We've been having our troubles. With the picks. You kind of came to me at one point Saturday afternoon and said, dude, it's my fault. As soon as I forget what game it was. As soon as I turned it off, they started winning. And we got the win or something like that. And I was actually just about to text you that it's my fault, Webb. It's my fault because I haven't been watching the games. Me and my wife are still a little bit in. It's been COVID, two off seasons of real football. Seems like I've been off my game as far as being there to watch the game. I think we were in a group text not that long ago, and dude said something like, what does it matter if you're watching the game or not? And I think I said, obviously you don't know anything about fucking gambling. Because there ain't no way the team is putting it all on the line. And unless I'm sitting here with my fucking butt cheeks clenched, watching the fucking game in a certain pattern, certain direction, certain.
That's right.
Whatever.
You might have a wrong hat on. You might be on the wrong cushion.
I'll go back. We've talked before about Chad Arnold and his Mexican wrestling outfit.
Yeah.
And it's funny because actually LSU's got a big game this week, and I saw Chad Arnold this week. He put himself a picture. His profile picture is him with the Mexican wrestling and the Afghan thing on. So he's getting ready for his big game against Tennessee. And just I'm wondering do you have any definite things that superstitions, and we're asking this to anybody out there too. What's your craziest superstition when you're watching the game when you want your team to win?
There's too many to say, too many to count. Like I'll change a shirt, I'll change a hat, I'll wear Cowboys gear or Carolina gear or not if they win this week, I'm not going to wear, and I don't have anything on. Sometimes if I'm watching it on TV, I'll shut it off and watch it on the phone or vice versa. I mean, there's all kinds of shit I do, man.
Right.
They're all crazy.
It's funny that I try to remember. I was like, what the fuck? When did I get this in my head that if I'm not paying attention or not watching,
you had that shit on.
And let me say, me and Webb are both like, the apples did not fall far from this tree. We did not wake up one day and gambling was just something that we were doing. This is something that came from years of our family tree and fell from their father's wombs and stuff. And I remember sitting in my living room with my dad when I was a little kid, and it was like you just have those Afghans. They were like scratchy, but they had the holes in them, whatever.
Yeah.
I remember like a couple times my dad be sitting in the living room, and I could tell when he was like, "Listen, man, this is what we need now." And I don't know, I was probably 7 or 8 or something, but that's probably where I got. Thinking back, that's probably where I got my itch for gambling and the feeling that you get if your team wins or loses. Even though I had nothing, but I could tell he was going to be pissed if it didn't happen, or he was going to be happy if it did. I don't know how much he was playing. I don't know what it was, but he was needing this shit to happen. He was sitting on the edge of his seat, and I would put my Afghan over my head, but you could still see the TV.
Yeah.
Because if you stretched it enough, the holes got real big. And
I know exactly what you're talking about.
And a couple times it came out. So that from that point on, every time my dad was like, "Come on, man," I would like put it over my head and watch it. I don't know. It's a little off, I guess, but that's where we get it from. But anyway, whatever we did this week, it worked out better. It worked out better.
You know what it was? Because we just said, fuck it. There was no overanalyzation. There was no.
Got to take the home dog.
Right.
Too many
favorites.
Team we thought was good.
And I didn't, there's, too much handicapping or, even look into the game. Like, this is what I'm betting. This is how I do it. And that's it.
So this week in college, Webb, very solid 8-6. 8-6 out of 14 games in college. Better, like getting it back on the right track. Back on the right track. NFL, Webb, we were 6-4.
All right,
so
again, both NFL these days. Yeah.
NFL's tough. So both back into plus. But obviously still rough season, right? College 20. Look, we tell it like it is. College we're 28-36, and NFL we're 17-20. So we need to build on what we need to build on what we just did and really get it going. Just so we know, the Jimmy Porter, right? You started out at 730 last week. You had Michigan and the Lions, so you split and lost $10. So you're at 720.
Yep.
So you're plus 220 with the Porter. Correct. Mine was I was down to $200, Webb. And
it was close, bro. It was close.
Yeah, I was down. I had not much money to work with, but I bet 100 on Clemson. Yeah. And they took care of business. And I bet 50. I didn't have much to work with. I bet 50 on the Raiders. And so I won both. So at 350. So now we're officially you're at 720 and I'm at 350 for that, but that's a total of 1070. So we're making a few bucks. We're making a few bucks for the Wounded Warriors. So we're gonna have Jimmy Porter on the show soon. He wants to be on. He's got to open invitation anytime he wants to come on. Since and anybody who wants to donate $1,000 to the cause, you've got an open invitation as well. Survivor, the Survivor. There's 3 teams left: D Saints fan, Papa Grow, and T-Bone. It turns out T-Bone is Todd Lewis, not T-Bone.
Okay.
Not your buddy T-Bone, our old Tim T-Bone, but Todd Lewis. So 3 teams left in that. Let's look up the NCAA Pick'em.
I think, I'm coming for those guys. Whoever's up in front of me, you better be careful because I'm coming.
Week 5 results. Malcolm had 9-1. Andy W had 8-2. Dirty Bob had 7-3. Rev G with 7-3. Rev G seems like he's up there a lot.
He's solid, big time.
Freddie, J-Mo, Racer 10, and Webb the Wager Maker all at 6-4, and then a bunch of 5-5s. I ended up 5-5.
I ain't fucking around now.
Yeah, but still in first place, Freddie, 31-19. Malcolm and Jimmy Porter and Rev G at 30-20. Jimmy Porter, we should give him the money for the Wounded Warriors. Let him make picks. Racer 10 at 29-21. Angry Wave, Fat Frank, O'Dude, and even O'Dude's up there. Low Joe, Webb the Major Makers, and Andy W all right there, 25-25. A lot of people 25 wins and 25. And shit, Andy W. whatever he's got 25 wins and 15 losses, which means he probably skipped a week and he's got 25 wins. So that dude,
that's right.
Whoever the hell Andy W is, I'm not even sure who Andy W is, but anyway. All right, Major League Baseball web. We keep track of our picks at sportswatchmonitor.com because we ended up number 11 for the regular season in Major League Baseball, but very much in the plus side. I think plus 8,000 for the year if you bet with us the whole time.
Plus 8,000?
Yeah, well, they're $1,000 plays. We risked almost $500,000 to make 8,000. Just so you know what the situation is there.
Well, how is that weighted? Like, is it like
return on investment? So
yeah, so we should be better than 11th. Is my point. No,
we're 11th.
No. But I'm saying.
Well, I'll tell you what the deal is, right? So yeah, because the profits are different. Like the team that finished second, his profit was $12,796, but the team that was third, his profit was $21,000. But the guy in
so he hit some underdogs or some
the
shit
guy
like that?
Well, the guy in third, he laid $431,000 this year. The guy in second laid $216,000. So your return on your investment is better. Like ours, we won 8,730. We were 180 and 27, which is 58%. But we laid 440. You had to bet 445,000 to win the 8,000.
800, right? But that's 8,000 profit. So we're only 58% though. It's got to be better than that. That was my question.
And listen, in baseball, we pick a lot of favorites. So our return on investment is lower than but that's look, we won money out of
right.
Over the course of that's 307 bets. We won $8,000. However you want to look at it.
Right. No, plus is plus. No
plus is plus. Number 11 out of like 40. So we'll take not the best, but we'll take it. We were up in the top 5 there for a long time.
Yeah, percentage needs to be. Yeah, at the end of the year is tough, man. It really is. Because people don't care, these teams.
And so we'll have to get on. Damn, I forgot to put our some baseball bets in for. They don't have the series bets, but I missed this first 2.
That came on. No, there's only one on now. There's only one on. Nothing. End of the first. That no runs in the first inning was minus 260 in the Tampa Bay Cleveland game. It's nothing.
All right. So what you say we get to some picks here, Webb?
Yeah, 207 is the next game. Phillies in St. Louis. Let's do it.
All right. Let's we already got the Colts in. Oh, well, actually, we got Friday night plays tonight in college football, so maybe we'll start with college football and see what you like. Yeah.
All right. Let me have it right here. Tonight, I'm taking Rutgers +3. This is just a homer pick here a little bit, but Nebraska sucks, and Rutgers can play well. We've seen it. They did not play well the last week or two. But they're home getting points in conference, whatever. But listen, I'm taking Rutgers because I'm from New Jersey. I went to Rutgers and I want to bet on them. So that's it. Go ahead.
I'm cool with that. I like the Scarlet Knights at home. Does anybody show up to those games? I know for a little while they had some people show up to games. I watched one game, I think it was a couple weeks ago, and they lost. Maybe it was the Iowa game. They lost, but they kind of got a little close at the end. And then when I looked, it was like there was maybe there was early leavers. Maybe it was early.
Yeah, I mean, it depends. I mean, yeah. They work. I mean, they'll be back to packing. It'll be sold out sooner than later.
Nebraska, you would think Nebraska on a Friday night, you're going to show out.
Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely. Yeah, it's nice out. It's actually 70 degrees here.
I like the Scarlet Knights tonight. I like one more game tonight, too. I like Memphis. That's your team. You've been actually Memphis and Houston. Memphis and Houston are your teams, but Houston seems like they haven't done for me what, or they're 2-3. Houston. I like Memphis at home in this one.
Yeah, I like Memphis too. -2.5 and you play. It says here. I don't know. Did we bet? What is it? Did we get it at 3 earlier? I bet we bet it already, didn't we?
Oh yeah. What did we get earlier? Let's see. I wonder if somebody hurt for that it's going down so much. Yeah, we got it at 3. We got Rutgers at +3 and Memphis at -3.
Rutgers +3. Yeah, it's only half a point, but I don't like that. I don't like that happen. But I do like Memphis. Fuck it. I love Nevada here a lot too tonight. Colorado State is horrendous.
True.
Horrendous. Nevada's at home -3.5. Not that Nevada's good, but Colorado State is that bad.
Yep. Yeah, I agree. And Nevada's had decent teams in the past. They're not as good this year. They're at home. Maybe they get something. Good.
You want me to go? You want to go?
Yeah, you
That's-
go.
that's
Go.
Friday night.
Tell me everything you like on Saturday, and then I'll see where our paths cross or where.
I see you up here on the site. I'm going back to the old. I'm paying my electric bill here. We're over to North Carolina over. North Carolina, Miami over 66. It's a 4 o'clock game. It's in Miami. Miami's minus 3.5. That quarterback looks like he's literally 10 years old, but he's good. Drake May, he's good.
And we had the over last week. It was the one time we've lost on the over in North Carolina. And
Yeah.
North Carolina did their job completely.
Hell yeah.
Virginia Tech's offense is just abysmal.
Awful.
But Miami will be able to score 30 points tonight.
Right. Well, that's tomorrow.
Yeah.
Tomorrow. Okay.
That's what I meant.
Scrolling down. I looked at Clemson minus 20.5 at Boston College. I don't know. I don't have it written down, but I was thinking about it.
I was too. We had them 2 weeks in a row, and they covered for us. I don't want to push it with the 20.5
fair enough.
spread.
Fair.
I feel like we kind of got on Clemson at the right time.
Right.
And maybe they should be favored by 17 here or something like that. I think this is like a Boston College homecoming game at home night where maybe and Boston College is terrible. It's not indicative of them. It's just indicative of the number and where they'll be playing after coming off like 2 solid wins where now people are starting to get back on board with Clemson a little bit. I think we got them. The last 2 weeks was the right time. I think this week I'm gonna stay away from them.
I agree. I mean, Clemson, their defense is the way to go. 21 points for them. It seems like it might be a stretch to beat anybody by 21. And this could be, it's like I said, Boston College is way down. This could be like a season maker for them.
Yep.
I'm staying away. Agreed on staying away. All right, I like this one here. I got Kentucky at home, minus 6 against South Carolina. I know the kid, what's his name? Rattler is the quarterback. I don't even know if he's still the quarterback for South Carolina, but he was one of those big hype guys. I'm sure he's got 7 million followers on Instagram or whatever, but he ain't playing no quarterback well. So I like Kentucky. Kentucky's underrated as hell. I just like him. So minus 6 at home.
Yeah, love Kentucky. That's a team that has always come through for us. Usually better as a dog. In fact, last week we had them as a dog and they got the cover. But South Carolina's not very good, and Kentucky is good. They're good. Like I know they lost. I think it was what the A&M. What they lose last week to somebody pretty good. Ole Miss. What they lose to Ole Miss last week, but kept it close. It was a close game. Kentucky's actually one of those top teams in SEC now. Top, they're not Alabama worthy, but they're certainly right there with the Tennessees and the Floridas and those of the
Absolutely. So cool.
South Carolina is not, and they're not laying a ton of points. What's it? Less than a touchdown, right?
6.
Yeah, 6. I'm down with Kentucky.
Cool. Then I got a noon start here. This is another one of my becoming one of my favorites. Kansas plus 7 at home against TCU. You can talk about this one because Kansas probably playing over their head. I think we bet against TCU last week and they fucked us. So I mean, we could. The more I think about it, I like the plus 7, but
I mean, one of these teams is going to be undefeated still through this amount of weeks. But Kansas, they actually won a low-scoring game last week, I think, if I'm not mistaken. They, but TCU beat Oklahoma, which that was a.
Well, that's looking worse and worse. Yeah, well, they're looking worse. Oklahoma's looking worse and worse.
Kansas with a nice win over Iowa State last week, which is that's a pretty quality win for them.
Sure,
I'll take Kansas at home.
All right, cool.
Getting some points. Why not?
This one here, another 8 at noon start. I don't have written down. I was looking at it. Missouri at Florida. Gators minus 10.5. I don't know what your thoughts are there. I know you got some Missouri.
My thoughts were leaning towards Florida in this. I think Missouri's kept it close to a couple different teams, but I think this could be a get right game for Florida. This is the kind of team that Florida can push around. I think at home. I don't think it's a stretch to think that they can win by 2 scores.
All right, let's do it. Yeah, they haven't played well, really. I did think,
they've had some tough games. They had to go on a road to Tennessee. They have 2 losses, but they're not terrible losses. They lost to Kentucky, and Tennessee. Yep. But then again, and they had that big win at home against Utah, but they haven't had too much tough teams otherwise. But I think they're outclassed Missouri in this one.
Yep, exactly. Next one I got here, App State minus 19. There's another. I find these little what do they call them? Pet cats or whatever. I like App State minus 19. Texas State. I don't really know who they are. This App State scores a bunch of points. They play a good D. It's on the road, but I don't know if it's at home. It would be 28, I think, or something like that.
I got no problem taking App State. They seem to play better against the big time schools, if you ask me.
That's true. That's true.
But I got no problem with that.
All right, next one's just right the game right underneath this. Army at Wake Forest. Wake Forest is good. I think they lost to Clemson last week, right? Is that who that was?
Yeah, overtime, I believe, right?
Yeah, so I got Florida.
That might have been 2 weeks ago. But
Army is just not that good. This is a game that Army can't. I don't think they can compete with this. I got Wake Forest minus a 16.5.
Okay. Wake is in.
Down. I'm going to ride with USC again, minus 13. They're not going to lose the game. It's a matter of how many they're going to win by. I think 2 touchdowns is a stretch. At home against Washington State, that train is just going to get going more and more. That's like the big, that's the over UCLA. That's the favorite out there. So,
yep. Afternoon game out in LA.
Washington on the road. I think they lost last week. Did we have them last week? I don't remember.
Yeah, they beat us up a little bit.
They were on the road though, I think, or maybe they were. This one.
Yeah, it was UCLA and Washington.
That's what it was. Yeah, and they got outplayed big time. But I think they're going to come back better. ASU sucks again. Did we bet against them last week too?
Yeah, but they covered against USC. That's what it was. So we had USC laying a lot of points against Arizona State. That didn't get done, and we had
25. Yeah, I have it here. Yep. Okay. I mean, I have Washington written down, but it's you can talk me off it if you want.
Well, let's look at. I have another team that's one of our liked teams. We talked about this damn UCLA. They don't have anybody at their home games. Even this last week, they don't have anybody. They even do one of them stupid light shows I can't fucking stand in UCLA, even though they have no guys. They had a nice win this past week, but I think Washington just kind of gave that game away in certain ways. They didn't play well, I didn't think. I like our team, Utah, to go there and take care of UCLA in this one.
We're laying a couple. I got to finally find it here.
3.5. Utah's laying at
that's what I got.
UCLA.
Yeah, that's good.
I like Utah.
I like the Utes too. I only have one more written down here. I think this might be one of your pet cats. I got Arkansas +9 at Mississippi State.
I don't understand this line, Webb. I don't understand. Explain to me. The only reason I don't like this game is because I don't like the line.
Yeah, well, we've been there a couple times. I just think Mississippi State, they had a couple decent wins. They beat somebody. I mean, they're decent. This is a typical Mike Leach team, though. This is kind of the bullshit they do. And then, once they figure out that stupid.
So they beat Cincinnati. That's Arkansas. Let's see. Mississippi State. Well, they beat A&M pretty good last week, but that's turning out to not be that big. To me, that's
right.
They lost to LSU. They beat Arizona. They beat Memphis. They're 4-1. But Arkansas, I mean, their losses are at A&M and Alabama.
Well, yeah,
I like Arkansas plus points. I like Arkansas.
I'll take it. Let's do it. That's good.
As long as their quarterback is healthy and all that kind of stuff, I like Arkansas.
Yeah, I like that too. And then just the other one, I just for the interest that Notre Dame is laying points in BYU. Just I don't know. I didn't really quite. Yeah, I guess BYU is no.
It's at home for Notre Dame, I think.
It is. Yep. Yeah, fuck that. I'm not betting.
BYU kind of let us down as much as Notre Dame last couple of weeks, I think. And this would be the one Notre Dame wins again because this is like no 3.5, but I could see them winning by 3.
Right. Yeah. Stick away from there, and then Washington. We're off on.
All
right. So that's it.
And then just a couple games I wanted to talk about.
Okay.
Big game in Baton Rouge.
Yes.
LSU getting a couple points. To me, Tennessee hasn't really been in this spot before where they're now they're going on the road to a big place and, being expected to win. They haven't been in this position probably since Phil Fulmer and stuff like that, where they're on the road in the SEC spot, expected to win and laying points. It's just a couple points. Tennessee and LSU, I think they're getting a little better. They're getting a little better every week. They started out against Florida State. They're getting a little bit. I'm laying off this game. I talked to my buddy Brandon up there in Tennessee. He likes Tennessee, but he's nervous about this one, Webb. I can tell you that. There's expectations up there in Knoxville are getting pretty high all of a sudden. They're getting high.
There's no doubt. There is, and I agree. I don't think LSU is very good. I think this line is probably spot on. Tough place to play. If it'd be tougher, it's at night. I think it's a noon game.
Yeah, notoriously LSU does not play well in these early morning games.
Yeah. So if I had to, I would bet against LSU. 65 to me. Well, Tennessee can score points. I'm glad we're punting on it. I would take Tennessee if I had to.
Right. And the other big game this week, the Red River rivalry. I think Oklahoma has let us down a bunch, but their quarterback is also out now, I believe.
Yeah,
maybe
Gabriel.
Yeah.
Did he get? He definitely didn't finish that game. Yeah, they're done good.
Or was it the USC quarterback that hurt? Which one got hurt? I get them mixed up.
Oklahoma definitely. Right. Gabriel, the left hand. I think he's left-handed. Yeah, that's
Texas,
one of the ones I was like
8.5 by Texas on this one. I don't know about that.
I'm going to
who the backup quarterback is.
Yeah, I wouldn't take. I'm not betting Oklahoma again. That's like two. That's two bad, in my opinion, bad losses.
Right. We got a lot of picks anyway. You want me to run them down and see what we got?
All right. So tonight we have Memphis -2.5.
I got a couple more to look at.
Oh, go ahead.
What about Ole Miss? I know we've been on them a few times when they were laying a good bit of points, but I feel like this might be the chance for them to get a blowout.
Hold on, who are they playing?
Vanderbilt.
You know what?
They're at Vanderbilt.
I got it written down here, but it's crossed out. All right, yeah, fuck it. Play the 17
Ole Miss.
Vanderbilt.
And then the other one is who's A&M play this week? Looking.
Give me a second. I hate them. You want to bet on that?
But they gotta. Are they going to win? Are they going to do?
I'm just fucking sick of Jimbo Fisher and the A&M. Like everything you read.
Oh well, here's the deal, right? They're playing at Alabama this week, right?
Oh, that's right.
So to me, this is the one everybody's been looking at, and to me, because of the,
it's 24 points.
To me, the issue with these two banging heads is people think Alabama's just going to show up and fucking run doors. To me, that line should be like 17.
I don't. Not after that. Look at A&M. Well, what's his name? Is Bryce Young hurt?
Bryce Young is 50-50.
He's dinged up. Yeah. Well, that's just maybe a little bit games and shit. But A&M is not good. I mean, if you want to bet A&M, that's fine. But betting we ain't getting to the top of the leaderboard betting against.
All right, we're skipping that one. Fair enough. We've said it a million times. You don't win a lot of money betting against Alabama.
And I don't want them to like. I'll be rooting against myself. Fuck A&M.
Right. You'll be wanting Alabama to put them in the dirt by 7.
Right. Just no fun.
Right. So this is what we got: Rutgers, Memphis, Nevada, over North Carolina, Kentucky, Kansas, Florida, App State, Wake, USC, Utah, Arkansas, and Ole Miss.
Yes.
13 plays. All right, NFL, Webb. We're 1-0 on NFL this week.
Which is great. I'm going to kick it off right at 9:30 a.m. I always hate betting these games. I just don't think that the New York Giants are any good. Their quarterback sucks. They don't have any receivers. Their offensive line is full of first-round draft picks that are underachieving. The defense is okay, I guess. They got that kid Thibodeau. And the dude in the middle, though, that they traded for the Jets, I don't think he's playing. It's -8. How many points, honestly, do you think the Giants can score? Can they? They're 17.
So I thought 20 for a second, then I was like, I don't know that they can score 20.
No.
So 17 is good. So Packers are going to score 27?
28. 28-17 is
Look,
fine.
There's nothing I like better than rolling over on a Sunday morning and one eye open and there's already a football game on with action on it. So I have no problem taking the Packers.
Hold on.
In this.
You want to take over 41 instead? Because what we just did, 24-17 is 41, right?
Yeah. What's that? Is that the number?
That's a push. If you like that better than the 8, I'm going to take the Packers just because the Giants suck.
I'll take the Packers. All right. I'm just saying I like rolling over and have an action. So
you said that, and I'm like, well, it's just much easier to roll over and just watch this fucking score.
Just score. Hope he scores. I hope that guy scores.
Right. Interception, good.
Right.
Fumble, great. All right.
We could do both. We could do both and really have fun.
Next game I got, I'll just run them all. Next game on my list here is Seattle plus 5.5 at the Saints and 46. If you would ask me this in August, I would have bet fucking $10,000 on the Saints. I actually think Seattle might be better, believe it or not.
Well, here's what I got to say about this, Webb.
Mm-hmm.
The Saints have got to win this. Like I said 2 weeks ago, if they lose to, I think they lost to Carolina. And I was like, if they lose to Carolina, the season's over because then they'll go to London and lose, and they'll be 1-3. And at that point, the season's over.
Pretty much.
Now I'm saying, if they lose this game, look, if you had a rough first patch, had a rough first quarter of the season, right, and then you start this next one with a game at home against a team that you probably should be able to beat. Again, you're 1-3 and you're favored by 5.5 points. You get to 2-3. All of a sudden, you're 2-3 after 5 games. Everybody's 2-3 or 3-2 after 5 games in the NFL, except for very few amount of people. If you can get to 2-3, you're good. Andy Dalton's going to be playing quarterback, so it's a little more predictable. I'll put it that way. I don't know if it's predictable good or predictable, but it's going to be a little more predictable. I think Alvin Kamara is back this week. The Saints will be at home. They have to win. They're saying the things in the press conferences about the mistakes, and it's self-inflicted, and we got the guys that do it. If they don't do it, I would like to go down with the Saints one last swing in time here. Is what I'm saying. I think what I'm afraid of is the Saints kind of win, but a sloppy one to get them back on track, and they win by 3 or 4. But I think the Saints, if the Saints can jump out early, and the defense can put some pressure on Geno, where he's got to make. I think the games with Geno's been like he's handing off to Penny,
and Penny's getting shit. Completion percentage. Putting 7 and 7. That's
because they're in the games. If you can get on top early, where he's got to make plays to win.
All right, well, we'll do this, but we got to come. If the Saints lose, for the rest of the football season, all you could talk about, all you could say is the Saints suck or something like that. I can do that. I'll be happy to. All right.
The Saints do suck. That's the problem.
All right.
Let's take the Saints. Let's take the Saints.
Next one.
And on record that I lobbied hard for this, so it'll be totally on me.
Yeah, believe me, that anyone who listens to the show knew you were betting the Saints. That's not a big deal. Next one, this may be a surprise. I love the Jaguars -7 against the Texans.
I'll do that. Jags are solid.
The David Mills, the kid doesn't have a chance, but he's about to be, he'll be somebody's. He's going to be the next. Who's our dude? Who's our favorite backup quarterback?
Dirk Diggler.
No, well, he's good. He's our favorite. Period. Who's the dude on the Chargers? Sorry, dude.
Chase Daniels. This
dude's about to be the next Chase Daniels. Anyways, I like Jacksonville -7 at home.
Okay.
This next one, this is funny. Like I thought about, I have it written down, and I just in my mind envisioned the conversation that we were going to have about this. I like the Bills -14.
Wow, that's a lot of points.
I did go back. I
am taking the Bills in Survivor. What? Here's the deal. I am taking the Bills in Survivor, and I do like the quarterback pick. I think it's the right direction. However, I would not want to be a quarterback starting my first game ever with the Steelers in Buffalo.
Right.
You gotta consider two. You gotta look at two interceptions minimum in this game. In fact, I think he threw a couple the other day in a short
in less than a half, I think.
Right. And he ran a couple touchdowns in, but that doesn't mean shit. They're not going to do that on.
Right.
I'll take the Bills -14. But you did say you were the one that told me this is the most points the Steelers would be getting since like 1970. Yeah.
Since the merger. So in the NFL, this is the most points the Steelers have ever gotten in the NFL.
All right. Well, we're going to give them to him then.
I'll give you another stat. The Atlanta Falcons have covered every game this year, every year, but I'm not even going to bet. I'm not picking them this week. I'm going to punt on the game. They're at Atlanta +10 at Tampa Bay, and the total's 46.5.
I would take the Falcons. Falcons +10. They won 2 in a row. They lost a stupid game to New Orleans in game 1 that they lost by 1. They lost to the Rams on the road by 4.
Mm-hmm.
Tampa Bay has lost 2 games in a row.
They're way banged up. I mean, well, it's Mike Evans is back, right?
Yeah, Atlanta's going to come to play. I mean, they've been, to me, they've been a game NFL team. You know what I mean? That's going to make you get. This is a division game.
4-0 against the spread. Right,
I would take the Falcons. I'll take 10 points.
All right. Plus 10. Okay. All right. This next one I love too. I love the Vikings -7.5 at home against the Bears.
Tough one for me, but I'll take the Vikings. Try and buy it to 7.
I'll do that.
Right.
Done. I was doing that shit anyway. So, Tennessee -1.5 at Washington. This doesn't really make sense.
It seems too good to be true.
Right? Yeah. I was punting.
Commanders are awful.
They gotta win a game. I mean, they look just ridiculously bad, but they can't be. It's the NFL. It's week to week. That's we gotta keep that. Miami in New York for the Jets -3 and 46.
Have we talked about this Tua situation at all?
We have.
I told on last week's show, going into Thursday, I told you the dude left the game with a concussion. It was obvious to everyone to fucking see. And then they come back and say, no, it was a little back problem he had. He came out in the second half. Well, sure enough, the first shot he takes to the head, he can't move. His fucking people are freaking out. First of all, people are freaking out. Like, you haven't seen this before on NFL with a dude. Every game, somebody gets knocked the fuck out.
Right. Well, you sign up for it. What are you going to? It's a fucking hard-ass game.
I don't know why people, but I mean, every game somebody has a concussion, gets knocked the fuck cold. It was, dude, last night, the Colts running back, second play of the game, gets up and he can't fucking stand.
Oh, yeah, out of the game. Yeah.
Every game, I mean, just because his fingers were all curled up, looking like some kind of shit.
Right.
I don't know what. But I mean,
not only that, they fired the fucking doctor like the next day.
But why is the outrage? I don't understand.
Yeah,
did they make Tua play?
Right. Okay.
Or did he say he wanted to play?
Yep.
And they're like, well, sometimes you got to say, look, you give him the facts. Here's the facts. You want to play? Yeah, I want to fucking play.
My dog might let Devin know. She's 11 years old. You know, you play football, you get a concussion. It might fuck you up later in life.
Yeah. So they fire the independent doctor. Big fucking deal.
That's just, is there any,
Back in the day, dudes used to have 2 concussions in the game. They set him on the side, gave him some smelling salts. He went like this, and he fucking went back in the fucking game.
He used to get pummeled by that Eagles defensive line. He'd be in it. Reggie White and Jerome Brown.
Like, oh my God, this is outrage. I don't know Tua. He's not my friend. I don't wish harm on anyone. I don't wish harm on anyone. And I wish he wouldn't have played. But I don't care. Right. They didn't make him. You fucking played, dude.
He gets paid very handsomely. He'll be okay. He'll figure it out.
I mean, don't play or play. Like, I mean, don't the outrage. What I'm saying is outrage.
Right. Player don't. Let's move on. You're a professional football player to get paid ridiculously well. Just shut.
Speaking of fucking outrage,
and he's not the one saying he's outraged, by the way.
What about these assholes running out on the fucking field? No, he's not outraged. He's like, look, I want to play. He's not upset.
I got shit I got to prove.
What about these assholes running on? I don't know if this is some kind of I don't know what he was protesting. He had a pink smoke, some kind of baby reveal. I don't know what the fuck was going on.
It was a baby reveal?
No, he was protesting for animal rights or something. But it was a pink smoke bomb or something. Yeah. And Bobby Wagner lays him out. Wasn't even a great hit, honestly. He knocked him down.
Yeah, he was a fucking stupid motherfucker running on the field for something.
Now he's suing him. Now he's suing like the NFL and Bobby Wagner. This is the problem with the fucking woke generation, Webb.
No doubt.
Too many people have been allowed to do whatever the fuck they want without getting punched in the fucking face.
I love it.
And now he's the victim. He went running out in the field. Now he's the victim.
Right. It's like, it's like you commit a crime and you got hurt. Like, oh, shit. You shouldn't have arrested me. You put the handcuffs on too tight. You ran on the field. What do you expect? You run on the field and punch a bunch of football players. Right. What do you think they're going to do?
Right. They're out there to do something.
Right.
And you're fucking cutting into their time.
Literally, they're really like banging each other's shoulder, like right after, before the game, like button heads, and this dude runs in front of him. It wasn't a fucking badminton match he ran in fucking.
You're cutting into their time. They fucking took care of it the way men fucking do.
Right. Get the
fuck off the field.
Right.
And when you do, don't cry about what happens to you.
What do you think was going to happen? All right, enough raving. What's -3 and 46? That seems high. Teddy Bridgewater's quarterback.
The Jets are doing better, but I don't like this game. First of all, Waddle and Hill are amazing. I think they're a little banged up, but I think they're going to play. And if Bridgewater can just get them the ball on slants and it's touchdown. That used to be called check down Teddy. That's what we call them here in New Orleans. Check down
He
Teddy.
was good, man.
But you don't have to go deep to hit. All you got to do is hit Waddle and Hill on a crossing pattern for them to go all the way. I'm not quite ready to say, oh, our guy from BYU is back on the Jets and they got a win last week and everything's great. I'm not ready for that.
No,
I'm not ready for that.
I agree.
I just punt on this one.
Good.
I punt on this one.
All right, let's go with where am I next? I'm gonna the Chargers -2.5 at the Browns and 47.5. I have no feeling on this game. It turns out I'm really not a Browns fan, but I think the Chargers are all still banged up.
And I'm a Chargers fan, but I don't think they're very good.
Correct.
I think they're good. They're not as good as I thought they were going to be.
They're not as
yet.
good.
Yet. Long way to go.
Certainly worthy of the hype. And the Browns suck. They just lost to somebody shitty last week.
Atlanta, I think, last week, huh?
Yeah. So fuck that. Good. Another stat that I seem to be stat guy these days. The Detroit Lions are playing in New England +3 and 45.5. All 4 Lions games have gone over. I had it written down until I realized they're playing the Patriots. So I'm going to punt on this.
Yep. I'd like to punt because we don't even know who's playing quarterback for the Patriots. Probably the young kid that played last week.
Exactly.
And they hung tough with Green Bay, but he didn't really. It was just one of those fluky, weird games where a couple things went their way, so they kept it close. I thought, and certainly Belichick can figure out a way to shut someone down a little bit if they need to.
I mean, it's not
to make this. Their only chance the Patriots have of winning this game is if they make it a low-scoring game.
Yep.
So I'm punting on that one. But I do like Webb. I've been on the Eagles over a couple times this year. First of all, they put up 30 against everybody. Seems like their defense is pretty good, and if the Cardinals can just do something. I like the over in the Eagles game.
That's over 49. I like that too. I had it written down. That's good. Jumping to 4 o'clock, dude.
All right. I'm just.
Oh wait, we do have. That's right. You skip one. That's all.
All right.
What do you think about the Niners in Carolina? 39.5 is the total.
The Panthers are real. I think the Panthers are really bad.
Horrible. 6.5. Latest 6.5.
Yeah,
right?
sure.
Cool. Next is Eagles in Arizona. I think even the fact that it's in Arizona helps this over.
Yeah. Me too. I mean, the Cards are going to score 20, right? I mean,
right.
Even if they're getting blown out, they're going to score 20. Even more so.
Right. Exactly. Or he'll throw a pick. I mean, yeah,
right.
We're taking you over. No big deal. This may surprise you too. Dallas in L.A. The Rams -5.5 and 43. The Rams win this game. Cover. You don't think so? That's an angry rate. The Cowboys are. This dude's going to win his first 5 starts. It's not going to happen.
What does angry mean? The Rams are not. The Rams are just okay. They're not. I mean, the Cowboys. I know the Cowboys are playing with a backup quarterback, but he's played sufficient. The Cowboys D is amazing to me. I don't.
I mean, I'll take the Cowboys.
Look, nobody knows the Cowboys more than you. I'll take the Rams.
I'm not. I mean,
I'm going to trust you. I'm going to trust you on this one. If you're saying go against the Cowboys, I'll go against the Cowboys. That's what I'm doing.
I mean, it's the shoe's going to have to drop here at some point. I mean, it's beyond expectations. But no, let's put. You want to punt on it? We can punt on it. I'll punt on it.
It's 3 o'clock. I'll take the damn Rams. Fuck it.
Right. I mean, the total's 43. That's low though. All right, never mind. Cincinnati at Baltimore. Baltimore -3.5.
I was leaning when I looked at it yesterday. It was 3, and I was all like, I think the Ravens are good to go. The Bengals are overrated, I think, going in after a Super Bowl run. But I felt much better about it at 3 than I did at 3.5. The Bengals aren't really afraid of the Ravens. They battled them toe to toe the last couple of years. But I know you hate the Ravens.
I'm betting the Ravens here.
All right, I like the Ravens actually.
The Bengals, forget that they're overrated. They're just not good.
Yep.
And what's his name? I hate the Ravens. And what's his name is king of the regular season. So this thing is pretty easy to me, that one. And then we get to, is that Sunday night? Yes. Okay. And then Monday night, I'm gonna kick this one your way.
I love the over in this game.
All right. I just looked at 51.5. So
Raiders defense is not very good. And Kansas and they're capable of scoring. I think these teams score. Period.
I agree.
All right, that's the Packers, Saints, Jags, Bills, Falcons, Vikings over Eagles, Niners, Rams, Ravens over KC. Webb, who you got for Jimmy Porter?
Man, I almost changed my mind. All right, what am I? I'm about plus 220. I'm going to go 4 games here. $50 each. Nevada minus 3.5, but I'm going to leave that there. Kentucky minus 6. Wake Forest minus 16. Hold on. Minus 16 minus the 120. And then I'm going to add $50 on the Ravens. I'm buying it to 3. Let me see what that's going to cost me here. I think it's going to be minus 130.
All right.
No, wait, hold on. 125. So Wake Forest minus 16 minus 120. Kentucky minus 6, Nevada minus 3.5, and the Ravens minus 3 minus 125.
Cool. Here's what I got. I'm going to Saints 100. And I'm going over Eagles.
Yeah, I thought about that one too.
For 100.
All right, so Saints minus 5.5. And then what was the 51.5? Oh no. 49. Eagles.
All right.
Cardinals.
There you have it, everybody. Thank you all for listening. We're going to get this out soon, so it's before the weekend. Devin's going to tell you about what to do on YouTube. And thank you, Wilbur Investigations, Buffalo Grill, Little Rock, Arkansas, MN3 Technologies, and all of you for listening. Congratulations to those guys doing good in the polls, guys and gals. And thank you all for listening. Webb, take us out.
Brick by brick, baby. Keep listening. We're heating up. It's still October 7th. Long way to go to make some money. Tell a friend. You're welcome.
Hey guys, it's Devin. Make sure you subscribe to the Wager Makers podcast on YouTube, like all their videos, and click that bell so that you turn on your post notifications and you never miss another video.